What's up, my adrenaline family? Of course, the adrenaline journalist here. Getting ready to get into a one-on-one training session at the gym. But before I did that, as I mentioned, I was planning on doing a Superare V series shin guard review comparison to the Century Brave shin guard. There are some starking differences, should I say, between the two. First up, let's just take a look at the Century Brave shin guards. I purchased these from good old Dick's Sporting Goods, and I recall paying about maybe $50 for them. So this is what they look like. Century. Yep. Brave series. Boom. See that? Century Brave. Yeah, you gotta be brave to wear these. So what are my thoughts on the Century Brave? Cost, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being terribly bad, I would give the overall cost for what you're getting with the Century Brave shin guards. For what you're getting, I'm going to give them a 7. Why am I going to give it a 7? Well, it's about $50 that I spent, as I mentioned. I think these have a stronghold if you really are serious about conditioning your shins when doing Muay Thai training. The padding on the Century Brave is not as thick as some other shin guards. So with that being said, you absorb naturally, your body, your shin absorbs more of an impact with the Century Brave compared to at least the Superare V series. I think it's a great entry level shin guard. And yeah, I'm still in entry level. I've got a long road to travel. So just trust the process. But back to the Century Brave shin guard. So I give it a 7 as far as in cost. And what you get for the cost. Quality wise, I mean, I haven't had any issues with the Century Brave, other than the fact that, again, it forced your shins to absorb most of the impact. Easy to put on, very easy to put on compared to the Superare V series. And I had a quick convo with one of my coaches, and we were talking about the difference in quality and thickness of the shin guards, and it was a good suggestion that he brought up that these would actually aid in conditioning your shins on the heavy bag, because they do allow your shins to, or force your shins to absorb more of an impact. Fitment, 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it 1 to 10 for me. I'm gonna give it a 6 on fitment. And the reason why I'm gonna give it a 6 is because doing some of my training, these shin guards, the Century Braves, did move around a little bit more on my shins and leg than I anticipated. Also, the the area that protects the foot seem to have want to move around on the top of my foot a little too often. But I pushed through a lot of the training. Just like to be honest, I probably wouldn't have looked so quickly for another shin guard until one day I got whacked pretty hard and partly, I could have done a better job, uh, checking the kick, putting shin to shin. But in this instance, the shin made contact with the side of my leg, or the side of my shin, more so the muscle area. So yeah, it had me feeling the it had me absorbing the pain, let's say that, for a couple of days. But I still trained. I didn't stop training, things of that sort. But two lessons: one, the shin guard, in my opinion, didn't provide adequate enough protection for, I'd say, light to medium sparring. And two, learn how to check better. Adrenaline journalist. So, quality wise, I mean, I've probably been using them maybe about, I don't know, 40, 45 to 50 gym day sessions in Muay Thai. So, I mean, they haven't really started to fray or fall apart. In fact, they're still in my opinion, good condition. But I will continue to use them, probably in those moments when I do want to subject my shins to a little bit more brute force, let's say that, whether it's the heavy bag or even in medium to or light to medium sparring sessions. Yeah, I don't have anything terrible to say about them. I just feel like if you're going to get deeply into Muay Thai, these might be a good beginner pair, but I don't think that anyone would want to stay in them too long. At least unless you're intentionally causing your shins to have more pain than you would, typically want. Let's say that. But again, part of the training is you have to condition your shin. So again, there's a bonus to these Century Braves, is it forces you to take more pain. It forces you to condition your shins. So yeah, I would say, again, 7 on cost value, 6 on fitment, and quality to date. I'm gonna give it. I'll give overall quality probably an 8. I'll give it an 8. Now, how do they stack up against the Superare? Well, let's talk about the Superare V series shin guards.